Namaste and welcome to this is a 3-session course on human mind in YajurVeda based on 6 mantras that appear in YajurVeda 34th chapter. This is first session when I will take up the first 2 mantras and then in subsequent sessions 2 mantras each. Just look at them. Yeah. So the title is Human Mind in YajurVeda 34th chapter 6 mantras 1 to 6. Alternatively, because all these 6 mantras end with a common ending, the ending is Tanme Manah Shiva Sankalpamastu. It's all one term, as Sanskrit language has this capacity to combine several terms and make a one compound term. So it is Tanme Manah Shiva Sankalpamastu. This is actually Tat, means that we will see why this term is there. Me is mind, my mana is mind. This is aggregate mind, total. And we'll see what are the different components of mind. And as you will see, mind weighs all kinds of options. And when we select one particular option, that is called sankalpa. And Shiv is positive, something which is good for myself and others. So this is an adjective with sankalpa, meaning Shiv sankalpa, astu, may it happen so. So this entire term has a almost becomes like a sentence. May my mind bear positive results. That is a one particular translation of this ending. This is common in all the 6 mantras. So that could be treated as the subtitle of this 3-session course. First one and the next 6 slides, I am just listing these mantras. I just thought I will recite them, though I am not very good in this thing, but let us do it once. Yajagyato duramudayati devam tadu suptasya tathaivaiti durangamam ज्योतिषां ज्योति एकम् तन्मे मनः शिव सङ्कल्पमस्तु येन कर्माण्यपसो मनीषिणो यज्ञे कृण्वन्ति विदथे सुधीरः यदपूर्वमयक्षमन्तः प्रजानां तन्मे मनः शिवसङ्कल्पमस्तु यत्प्रज्ञानमुत चेतो धृतिश्च यज्ञो तियन्तमृतं प्रजासु यस्मान्नहिते किञ्चन कर्म क्रियते तन्मे मनः शिव सङ्कल्पमस्तु येनेदं भूतं भुवनं भविष्यत् परिगृहीतममृतेन सर्वम् येन यज्ञस्थायते सप्तहोता तन्मे मनः शिवसङ्कल्पमस्तु यस्मिन् च सामयजूंषि यस्मिन् प्रतिष्ठिता अथना भाविवा यस्मिंश्चित्तं सर्वमोतं प्रजानां तन्मे मनः शिवसङ्कल्पमस्तु. सुषायते अश्वानिव यन्मनुष्यान् नेनीयते भीषुभिवा जनैव हेतुप्रतिष्ठं यदजयं जविष्ठं तन्मे मनः शिवसङ्कल्पमस्तु. So this was a citation of these six mantras just in 12 short lines. And it is very amazing how the whole concept of human mind has been packed into these 12 lines, six mantras, which is very fascinating. And let's look at it. We will devote one session to a pair of two mantras. They don't quite form a pair. We could have had six sessions on six mantras. As the situation is prevailing, we are very close to the winter break. So we have three more sessions, and I decided to take up two mantras each. And I think that should be quite adequate. And I will just like to present one slide before each of our session, just to give you a whole picture of the six mantras, how to look at them. So here we are looking at, just see as if entire human life is an journey, which we are used to. We hear this very often, that life is a journey. But human life is, of course, special, precious, different from all other species. And indeed, in this title, I have put it as human mind. Of course, other species also have a mind, but we will be very focused on human mind, and we will see all this. And one particular aspect is this: human mind allows us a kind of exploration. What is that exploration? Just making two short sentences. As we go through this journey, as we traverse this journey, as we lead our life, we of course intend to enjoy every moment of it. So we will say we enjoy and appreciate the world we live in. It's a very beautiful art. This is something most of us will agree. And this happens to be so with all other species also. So, what is specific, extraordinary possible with the human life is stated in the lower part. We can attempt to get to know the maker of this beautiful world. If the world is beautiful, its maker must also be much more beautiful. In other words, we don't only just see the beautiful art, we want to explore who the artist is, and can we be with him, with her, whatever it is. Actually, the him and her doesn't make any sense. Physical entity, because even our gender is associated with our body, not with our mind or our consciousness. It requires this masculinity and femininity, but the words may be masculine and feminine from a grammar point of view, but that entity that we want to explore this. So let's look at this exploratory journey that artist, when he sends us into this world, equips us with a powerful mind. And that's what the story is all about. So the first one we have is Yajagyato Duramudayati Devam Tadusuptasya Tathayvayati Durangamam Jyotisham Jyotirekam Tanme Manah Shiv Sankalpamast. Of course, I am more comfortable with the upper Devanagari version, so I may use my cursor there. If you are not familiar with Devanagari, you will have to read the lower part. Excuse me, I will be using my cursor on the upper part. because I'm more familiar with that. So this slide is Untitled Chapter, first mantra from YajurVeda. Just giving it a title. This is my mind. I somehow find myself into this world with powerful instrument of my mind to the world. If we look back our last 24 hours, we went through certain phases of our time, phases of our life. Particularly in the night, we were in sleep. Then we woke up in the morning. We are relatively alert in the daytime. These variations in our states are basically due to the mind. If my consciousness is emitting, so to say, the light of consciousness, like at this point, I can wave my hands, I can rotate my neck and do all kinds of movements simply because my inherent consciousness is being passed on to my body organs, my hands, for example. And who is that connecting medium? That connecting medium is mind. So, my consciousness, if I call it as my soul, is passed on to my mind, and then my mind is conveying it further on to all my body organs. So, at this point, as I speak, my body, mind, everything is very conscious. Conscious in the sense, if there is a pin and that was to perk into my fingers, I will feel the pain. Something is pinching me, is it not? Now, just for sake of it, with the same hand I am lifting my phone. So my phone is in my hands. So just to make that appearance, so that you can also see it. So I was with empty hand, and I said my fingers have consciousness. If something pinches there, I will feel the pain. And that feeling of the pain is because my consciousness has traversed from me, the original source of consciousness, to the mind and then to the body. Now, say I am lifting my phone here. This is My phone is very much connected to my fingers, as if there is a serial connectivity. As I hold it, it is almost like it is part of my hand. Now, as I wave my hand, also going up and down. But one very important thing is there that is not happening to the phone. If somebody puts the same pin on my phone is not going to feel the pain of, is it not? As my fingers would have. So what is happening? There is a boundary of my consciousness with my hand and fingers. Though I am able to lift my phone, that consciousness is not going becoming part of this phone. And the proof of consciousness is my ability to feel the joy and pain. So, this consciousness that was brought to my fingers was done by my mind. And when I withdraw my consciousness, as I go to bed in the evening, then somebody may lift my hand and I may not even be aware of it. Is it not? So, this is the connectivity of mind, that it relays the inherent inner consciousness. It picks up from my soul, my original source of consciousness. It itself becomes that conscious mind, and then it passes it on to the body. When it passes it on to the body, now I want to go to the that slide. Making these terms now. Yat jagyat, wakeful. When I am wakeful, that is the made possible by my mind. So the title of this slide is the properties, attributes of my mind, in particular that it helps me connect to the world. How does it help me connect to the world? It follows the consciousness of mind and becomes itself that consciousness, and it passes it on to the outer domain of mind. So these are the kind of terminology I will be talking in these three sessions. So first I want to clear up something which is very common, which will be coming in every mantra. So let's look at that aspect first. I'll come back to this slide again, but making some preliminary comments. First, I want to make comment about this peculiar language here, because all six mantras have this commonality. What is it? It begins with Yat. Yat has become Yajja, that I'll explain later. Yat, and somewhere here in Tanme Mana, there is Tat. So there is a pair of Yat and Tat. So the language is Yat, that Tat is that. So let me devote a few moments to this peculiarity. So the title here is this language, so called Sanskrit, and its 8 cases are there. 8 cases are relevant for nouns, but this particular pair, Yat and Tat, is a pronoun, particularly correlative pronouns. Should be translated something like whatever has, whatever is for Yat has these attributes, that Tat means that mind bear positive results. So this is what the language is. Yat and Tat will come all in all the mantras. But now here in this slide, I am also taking the opportunity, because this language is such that noun and pronouns and many other things, they go through variations. And there are 8 cases. For pronoun, the last one is not there, vocative. Otherwise, 7 cases are there. So this same term yat, here is yat, then in instrumental it will become yen, in ablative case it will become yasmat, and in locative case it will become yasmin. So they will come in all the 6 mantras, but they will be, it will not always be as yat. As yat, as nominative case, it is appearing in mantras number 1, 3, and 6. As yen, to the mantra number 3, which we recited, no, sorry, the fourth one, also the second one, yena karmanya pasoman. So it is beginning with yen. This is in instrumental case. Sorry, my this number should have been, yeah, yen number, mantra number was 2 and 4, where it appears as instrumental. As locative, as yasmin, it appears in mantra number 5. Yasmin chittam sarvamot. Then there is a semicolon here, because this same term appears not at the start but in between also. So when it appears in between in nominative, that is happening in mantra number 2, 3, and 6 as instrumental, in particular as yen. It appears it at the start of the mantra number 4 as well as in between. As ablative, which is yasmat. This is appearing not at the start but at the in between in the mantra number 3. Now the locative, the yasmin, it appears at the start and again two times in the mantra number 5. Yasmin chittam sarvamotam. So this I thought I will point out right in the beginning because this is a very common feature in all these mantras. So if you are not very familiar with this language of Sanskrit, I thought this will help you slightly. The language is whatever has these features, these attributes, then the ending is tat me manah. That mind may bear positive results. The ending is, I will say, the last quarter. So the 3 quarters, 80% of the verse is describing certain features and attributes of mind, starting with yat. The translation will be whatever has this, that mind of mine may bear positive results. So this is how these sentences may be constructed. But we will not construct it always like that. We'll go into, I will devote more time to each feature because that's where the beauty is, how these 6 mantras have packed so many characteristics of our mind and it can be so much inspirational. Of course, the first 4 mantras will be common to any study of psychology, but number 5 and 6 is very exclusive. Even certain aspects of number 4, and actually in each mantra, certain features that is very, very peculiar to Vedic psychology. So that is what you will be seeing in these 3 sessions. Before I go to that mantra again, let me talk general terms about this mind, particularly from Vedic perspective. So as I have been saying, me, I am a source of consciousness. TC stands for tiny consciousness. The layperson may use the term, this is my soul, myself, my spirit, whatever it is. But this is a pure consciousness. It's a singularity, a point, somewhere in my head region. And this comment, where it is situated, will come at the mantra number 6. Hit patishtham yadjaya. So we will cover all these aspects through these 6 mantras. This is me, and before I took birth, I went into my father's body. But not this just point like singularity. I was enveloped in a domain of mind. So you can imagine a tiny source of consciousness enveloped by a domain of mind, a layer of mind. And that I like to describe, like as in an Upanishad, as if thumb in a fist. So when you close your fist with thumb inside, the thumb is like your consciousness, and that palm which is enveloping the fist represents your mind. This is very important because common man may think my brain is my mind. Not so. That me and my mind entered into my father's body with nobody was able to, even my father probably didn't know about it. Through the food he was eating or something he was drinking, or just through the air he was breathing, or through so many pores of the body. It is what I am emphasizing is that me enveloped by mind is very, very My mind is made of physical particles, yet it is very tiny. So tiny it is not amenable to our finest instruments. That has to be borne in mind. Not, don't be confused. Insofar as Vedic psychology is concerned, mind is that tiny instrument that envelops my consciousness, that is me, and is not to be confused with the brain, though that's where I am residing. So now that fist that is enveloping my thumb is to be viewed in three layers. First layer, that is this first box called as buddhi, my intellect. Then there is a middle layer. This is my memory, my storage device. And this outer layer is the linking device, the body finally. So these three boxes, they in total constitute my mind. But this is not complete. When it comes to my linking device, what is called in Sanskrit as manas, it has 5 inlet ports and 5 outlet ports. Ports are there, channels can send in some data into it. And 5 output ports that it can activate certain motor devices, motor organs, so to say. So in fact, these 5 inlet ports and 5 outlet ports makes it at that linking device. It is a linkage because it has those 5 inlet ports and 5 outlets. Now those 5 inlet ports pick up data from 5 senses. We are all familiar with these 5 senses. Nobody will deny that. They are sending in data. This is a very thin arrow because linking device is very fast. It picks up data from one channel at a time, though it has 5 channels. But of course, it is scanning those 5 in a very, very rapid succession. Speed of light or even faster than that. We have no idea. Now the story about 5 output ports, it activates like I started the story, I am waving my hand. Right at my mind, I want to raise my hand to the upper height. And then it happens. How does it happen? The whole mechanics will be very complex. But it somehow gets initiated through the outlet port of my mind. Something is thrown out, something is activated, then the electrochemistry, electromechanical, electromagnetic things are happening in my brain, and then somehow something goes through my spinal cord and then my arm joints. Then it becomes quite mechanical. Once initiated at this intellect level, I decide to raise my hand. The command goes this way and this. This arrow is bigger in the sense it hits multiple organs simultaneously. Like we walk and speak and wave our hands, we do all this simultaneously. There is a kind of multitasking possibility here. Anyway, this I wanted to give you at the outset. The description, the first mantra is, which connects me to the world, is talking about this is the source of consciousness. I am wakeful in the morning as I rise from my bed. I am quite alert and conscious. What it means is this consciousness you imagine is a light, not physical light, it is light of consciousness. This has been borrowed by the mind, and the mind is now with that light. Of course, in the night when I was in bed, that time this was not quite conscious. When I was suddenly wakeful, what is happening is my mind has borrowed this light of consciousness is now permeating through my mind. And not only through my mind, this mind is now fully operational, that all these linkages are working well, that I can make use my body organs, my sensory organs, etc., and have full authority over them. So that is called wakeful state, and in Sanskrit that is called Jagyat Avastha. So the mantra number one is basically, then it will describe the sleep also. So what it would mean is, mind, I am going to divide it over three boxes. Aggregate mind. This is connecting me to the world through these organs. I can learn what's happening in my surroundings through my five senses, changes in my surroundings through my five motor organs. All these capacities are there because I am wakeful. Sanskrit term will be Jagat. Because I have fully consciousness from the source of it. And then as I later in the evening, as I get tired, I go to sleep. This whole thing, this source is always there. But then it withdraws inward, and then my mind is also void of consciousness. True with my body also. So this whole dynamics, my ability to function in the world is done through the mind, which borrows the consciousness from me and let it pass on to the body, etc. And later in the evening, it withdraws from my body and itself it becomes withdrawn. Now, this is a very peculiar thing. In the sleep, there are two possibilities. So, that also will be covered. In the sleep, it may happen that I continue to maintain some consciousness, and that way I will be dreaming here. And when even that trace of consciousness is missing, then I will be in deep sleep. Then there is nothing happening on my in the skin. That part also will be covered. So you will see when my consciousness is going to the body, to the all this part, I am fully awake, wakeful. Now it is withdrawn inward, but it is still partly here. I am kind of half asleep and half awakeful. I am in dream state. When this is me, I still see vividly as if something is happening in my mind. At that point, nobody is able to tell me this is just playback of certain events. It is not real events. It is not live event. Nobody can tell me at that time. But as long as I am in the dream state, I feel like it is happening with me. And then, if I am lucky that evening I have deep sleep, then even this ceases to function. Even this trace of consciousness has gone back to its source. Then I will be in deep sleep. All this is happening depending on how much consciousness was here. Was it 100%? Then I am wakeful. If it was in trace, 50%, 20, 30%. If it is just 10%, then I am in non-IEM sleep. If it is 50, 40%, maybe I am in IEM type of sleep, rapid eye movement, that I wake up and I recollect the dreams, etc. And when I am 0%, no consciousness, that is deep sleep, that will be the time will be Sushupti. With this much of introduction, let's go back to this. It's very fascinating. Every word will be. I'm going back to the first mantra. Yeah, try to go fast now. Yat jagyato. Sorry, my cursor will be on the Sanskrit side, but if you are not understanding it, you will have to see it. This is a compound yat jagyat. Yat I have already described, whatever. That jagyat during the wakeful state. Now the description is in the wakeful state. Duram means far away. Ut, I will describe Ut slightly later. Eti. Eti is a word, it moves around, it is dynamic. It goes far away. Dura Mudayati means my mind goes far away. Of course, it is just a language. Mind stays within my head, doesn't go. But going means obtaining things. When you go somewhere, you obtain something. So, in that sense, it makes me obtain the world around me. In that sense, it goes far away. So, eti, ut is always in the positive sense. Ut, uttara, uttama. Those who can understand this word, it is positively moving, it is dynamically moving. It is not just haphazardly going around. It has a purpose, it goes far away. Because I am alert and awake, description of my mind to keep me connected to the world in a positive sense. I must become, I must be aware of what's happening around me. So that is the meaning of ut. Ut is a prefix here. So, I am not very good in English, but whatever vocabulary I have, it fails me many times because the language is so beautiful, it is very difficult to translate all this. But I do as possible. As I am moving to far away, it goes fast. And that positive identified with this term, Davyam. It is quality. It is something out of the world. There is nothing in the world that can equal the power of our mind. So much, it is so much of that kind. That has been emphasized. This set of mantras are so important because in modern times you hear a lot of people, even intelligent people, rubbishing our mind. Say, this mind is culprit. The mind does all this wrong thing. Mind is like a monkey. Mind is like this and that. This is not to be tolerated. Mind has all the positive divine qualities, and that must be understood. It is just, it is your mind, it is your very personal secretary. Not using it properly, it is your fault. The instrument is very, very powerful, and your every word is talking like that. Description of when I am awake, it obtains through the knowledge organs, sensory organs, and also it takes me physically to the all parts of the world. So it is both in knowledge and action. I am able to function this wonderful human mind, where distance almost almost as if it is vanishing, because human mind can go even beyond the sky, even think about galaxies and not. So this is that part has been described. Now this is the sleep part. Tadu, tat, that which has been described. Tat u is definite. Tat u. Actually the word is yad and tad. I did show you in the slide yat and tat. but it is also appearing as yad and tad. Don't worry about that. Yat and yad is same, tad and tat are same. So here it is, while here it was tat me. Now you will that ta becomes na, tanme mana. So let's not go much into the language part. Let's look at the concept. So now we are getting into the sleep part. So what is it saying? Tat u, that definitely. Suptasya, when that entity who is mind in sleep mode, suptasya. This is Shashti, which is genitive. When he is in sleeping, his mind is talking about Tathav does the same, Eti similarly does the same. Eti was here also. Eti is a kind of a movement. Let's look at it carefully. This language is so fantastic. It's just out of the world. Indeed, Vedas are out of the world. Carefully, in this much, as I say many times, are not available in books. So you will, if you are very much interested in it, you will have to be very attentive. So look at it carefully. Now, in these three words, it has been described our deep sleep as well as our dream state. The word is supta, sleep. It could be half sleep as well as full sleep. Okay. It just depends. Likewise, like what? You have to see likewise. Likewise, it goes with supta describing deep sleep. Look at it this way. Suptasya, in sleep mode, that mind, tathav veti, it also goes into sleep. Is it not? If tathav goes with the it means it goes into sleep. Your mind will give you relaxing good night's sleep without doing that. That is the job description. But it is also capable of staying you connected to the world if this tathav goes with yajagato duyamudai. Indeed, we are all grown up people. Our problem is our mind keeps on functioning. Tathavati. Tathavati is what? Not that the soul is in sleep mode, but as it was in the wakeful state. Tathav goes with the description of mind in the when it was doing Duyamudati, it is doing Tathavati. Likewise, it does again. Is that clear to you? So Tadu Suptasya Tathavati, that is the beauty, allegorical nature of this language. I just cannot add enough times to this beauty. This Tadu Suptasya Tathavati takes care of that is the way it should happen. If you are not of that type, if you did not tame your mind properly in the daytime also, then it will go on showing you all that vivid world as it was showing you in the wakeful state also. Things are covered here very properly. Back. Duyam gamam. It is almost like duyam udayati. Far away. But how is it? Now it is, its capacity is there. Of course, we are all equipped with beautiful eyes and ears, organs. They are in plural, Jyoti Sham. They have the light. They are the source of light. Light is something that shows you something, is it not? Look at your sight organ. It's an object and it finally displays your mind screen, displays it to you. And then you say, ha, I got it, isn't it? Happening. So look at your light as a source of light as far as your mind screen is concerned. So that is called as a jyoti. It is source of light that finally it is able to display an image on your mind screen. And it is not true only with your eyes, it's true with your sense of sound, smell, taste, and touch. They are all able to capture a particular image, not necessarily visual image of a texture, image of a taste, image of a sound, and all that. Up to you where you exist, where your consciousness is there. That mind screen that I showed you in that schematic diagram, the very first square box from the left side. So that is where all these five senses are able to bring the information. But all these five are Jyoti Sham, they are wonderful, but they wouldn't function. They wouldn't function. That's what I talked about, that thin arrow. Depending on to which sensory organ your linking device is connected to, is it not? So that is Jyoti Ekam. Only one channel comes to you at a time because this mind is a source of light and this is one unitary mind. Depending on which out of those five sensory organs to which one it is connected to, that data is displayed by you. Five channels are wonderful, but greater wonders are with our mind. Picks up the data and brings up to you meaning of Jyoti Sham Jyoti Ekam. Here only our rishis have formulated all these things. I have shown you the arrow. The rishis from these six mantras they have covered, and not only those schematics, but even the purpose of life and philosophy of yoga and everything is covered in these six mantras. Let's quickly move on to our mantra number one. Now the journey is inward. All that diagram has been covered in the first mantra. Arrow has been given. Now we are going inward. With the second mantra, the mind in action, outgoing action, which is this box here. So this part is there, and here the this is ahankar. Of course, I am going ahead of myself because I have the benefit of all these issues. So this is now the description is not the whole mantra, but this is of this box plus this box, where the action is as if the switch is on and then the linking device gets activated and then it activates one of the output ports. So this part, so I will say when we meet next week, we will be talking about the incoming knowledge. Today is outgoing action now. Mantra number two is outgoing action. One will be incoming knowledge. Mantra number three will be incoming knowledge. So when I show you this thing, let me show you that these two boxes are more involved in outgoing action. This will be there. And when we'll be discussing incoming knowledge must be displayed right here at the screen. This is where I am sitting. So that will include this also. So now we are more concerned with these two boxes. And when we will discuss in the mantra number three, Of course, the whole mind is participating, but the emphasis will be on this box. That should be understood. We are talking about something most complex system in the world. That's why I like to call it science of sciences. All the sciences are in the human mind and they are related to all the objects of the world. Now, today, the object, our mind is our object. We are trying to open up that black box and try to understand that. This is where the philosophy is helping us. We have just covered one of the six. Now, this is in the instrumental, what is called titiya in Sanskrit grammar. The yat has become yen out of that, whatever. Let's look at it. Yena karmani. Karmani is plural of karma. Kanvanti, that is the verb. Verb is for plural. So this will be yena karmani kanvanti. Out of that, realized are made to happen, so to say, which karma actions need to happen. Now, there are a lot of what kind of people. It is same mind that I have, you have, criminal has, and even the noblest person on the earth has, is it not? How much inspiration is in this mantra? What kind of loftiest actions we can be engaged into? It is enough to hint yajna, action, particularly organized effort for the benefit of others, a selfless action. So, such will be the adjectives of the mind or of the actions we are talking about. Apasa. Apasa is an adjective with those people who are, if I were to use a Sanskrit word, it is karmanistha. That's the word Mahesh Dayanand has used. Nishtha. It is somebody who believes in active life, always doing something good. So that is the apasa. With this powerful mind can become like this, that there is not a trace of laziness in us. We are always thinking of good, noble actions. We are never tired. Apasa. I have a word is there in Hindi. I don't want to use it. Its meaning. Sometimes we say, काम करते never be past of that. Means he is by nature just now woke up in the morning and is fully active. Is always at the high level, in the wrong direction, always. Language where the word is usually within this. So Manishina, But the basic word is Manishi. Like in Tanme Mana, Ish is owner of mind, Swami. Those people who have full command over their mind. Mind. Is a slave of his mind, is it not? And look at the person being given. Be performing upper you are of your mind. You are so good in practices. That's what we do in meditation. Be calm. And gradually, as a meditation practitioner, ability to some extent, if you have a good command, moment, you do the pranayama, you just say, and your mind is finished, calm. Nishi. Untiring. He has full authority over his mind. Action plan will he have? Yajna. Yajna. Is it not? All his actions will be yajna. And he will be, what was the verb? Do you just jump into it? No. Adjective. With atha. Atha is start. You know, this, like we are eating Patanjali Yoga Sutra. How does it begin? Shashanam. So this is the start of the book. Atha is starting, is it not? So with atha. So even at the start is what? At the start is with. We want to go in action mode, but you don't get into in a foolish manner, crossing the highway and get killed by a high speed car. Foolish. Street you have to look here and there. But that is an animal. We can take pity on it. Gazing in his highway. But we are talking here about human mind with his vidya, with janate, knowledge. So you get together, make a plan, well thought out plan with a teshu. All that has been well chalked out. So very intelligently thought out plans that is made, implemented by such people. Dhiya. All these people are dhiya in the sense, dhiya is to dharan karna. Look, if you know slight Hindi or slight any Indian language, which has influence of Sanskrit, you can never be away from it. It's so easy to hold it, to hold it. This has two meanings now, very important. You have a lot of patience. Execute these plans of action, you need to be patient. You have to be a deepers. And also, very important, when I show you the diagram here, this is my memory device. This is why I said the action is coming from here. This is my storage device. And if you have programmed this device so well that all kinds of beautiful action plans are stored here, it just gets automated. That is the power of your mind. You can habitually make yourself into action anytime whenever there is a loftier action plan, because all of them are sitting here in the form of you have conditioned your mind. You are dharan karna, you are holding them, is it not? Because somebody smokes a cigarette, is it not? What is it? He has had his meal, walks out of a restaurant. I'm not a smoker, but those who are smokers, some of them have told me, they have a strong urge after their meal. So when they walk out of a restaurant, into his pocket, brings out a cigarette and a light. All this is automated, is it not? He is doing habitually. And where is that automated plan that is sitting here in this storage memory device? But this is a bad example. Smoking a cigarette is not good for your health, good for environment, is it not? But suppose you had conditioned your mind, this is how you condition your mind, with some positive plans, that would also be here. This is the dhiya. All the positive action plans are stored here. Recently in Houston, we had floods. Yesterday, I was with a gentleman who was himself affected by floods with about 2 meters of water in his home. And I was looking at him, and unbelievable. Man goes into an action plan to serve others. He is president of here Seva International. His own home has 2 meters of water. He comes out just with one shirt, and he is now coordinating all kinds of efforts for the neighborhood and the other parts of the city. Because throughout his life, he has conditioned himself. This is a dhiya person. Not only patient, what I am trying to say is it doesn't take much time and he is ready with a plan. And he is in action mode. That is the dhiya we are talking about. Be clarified here. Apurvam, nothing is like that. Who is first? Apurvam, nobody can come first to that. Of course, human mind is powerful like that. Nothing can come to close to that. But this is the hint that actions are initiated here. Apurvam, nothing comes before. Anta is inward. We are going inward. We are going inward. And this is where Yaksh is the presiding entity. My mind, anything my hand and my feet are doing, it is presided by my mind. That is inward Anta. Yaksha, he is the president, like we say Adhyaksha. Adhyaksha is presiding entity. So that same Yaksha, sorry if you are not with the Indian background, I use some Sanskrit background, not discriminating, just if somebody picks up certain hints, I am giving those hints. I would like everybody to pick up. So these are some common words, people are familiar with it. So I just am trying to say any action anybody is doing, it is presided by his mind, which is inside, inward. And all these beautiful things are happening for Prajanam. Ja is for anybody, pra is prakashthate, good human being. If you are a good human being, then you will see there is a great force who is will make you rise up and up. So this is a degree from 0 to 100%. Anybody can become a Praja. get his help. Pushing you, he's pulling you upward, provided you show something positive. Well, he will say, I don't get these ideas. He is himself not in this category, Praja. Praja is good children of that Shiva. You have to be a good child, and then only you become help and his help. That's why we do meditation, clean up all the clutters of our mind, some positive ideas, negative ideas. If you bring into this category, Manya Paso Manishino Yajin Kirvanti with Teshu Dhiya Uvam Yakshmanta Pezanam Harshu Sankal. We know all our karma being rewards. Person who is not concerned with it. He just does it as his cosmic mother, cosmic father desires. So, in his image, I will never be fully like a Shiva. I am a tiny Shiva. I should use all my powers of body and mind in this positive direction. I have limitations with those limitations on body and mind, but nobody can that I used them in a wrong direction. Otherwise, it should be always that Paramatma is doing all his karma, yajna karma. And in that image of yajna karma, I should also do something. Yaj is Dev Puja Sangati Karan Daneshu. Effort. That person whom I met yesterday, alone he would not have done it. He started with a team of 70, 80 people. There were 1250 volunteers. 1200. Because it was Yajna, I can come together. So here we end the session number 1. As we have started with the overview of mind and we are going now inward. Today we have seen mind in action. See mind in knowledge. Boxes will be functioning and up here. I have got initiated here because that's where I have programmed myself. But next week we will see knowledge must show up to this point, and then I say, yes, I got it. Number 4, Yat Pajyanamut. Then mantra number 4, sorry, mantra number 3. Mantra number 4 will be that is our human mind. That's how we are different from others. We have discriminating ability. To see something the real time, I now process that real time information, cause and effect. What will happen next in time and so in space? Our thinking mind. And then this part will be working very fast. So that will be mantra number 4. And so on, we'll make this journey. Time, we'll meet again a week later. Thank you all for joining me. See you a week from now. Until then, have a good time.